What did you notice with the feeling through the contact of those shots?
Inconsistent.
Yeah, that's the first word that comes to mind, right?
Yes.
So from shot to shot, you were feeling something different down at impact. A couple great little chip shots where the ball came off nice with high friction, spun a lot.
Yep.
But also a couple that came off maybe a little chunky, and then a couple a little thin as well, right?
Yeah.
That over-released out a little bit. So what that's telling us is, first and foremost, the low point of the chipping arc is in a different place every time, right? And when the low point's in a different place, the way in which the club's interacting with the turf is variable as well. So for this greenside chip, for a stock lie on fringe grass or fairway grass, I want to really start to be able to manage that low point. So a little training exercise that you and I are going to do, for starters, is we're just going to take a tee, and we're going to put that tee down really low. So it's only, for example, 1 mil, 2 mil above the turf line. Basically as though the tee's on the grass height. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our setup position, whereby we set a very neutral chipping setup. It's very narrow in the stance, so your ball creeps a little back in the stance. We're going to keep it nicely in the middle.
Sure.
Okay, my elbows are very soft and the shaft lean is minimal.
Mine's a little forward.
Yeah, well, as the ball goes back, your shaft goes forward a little, right? So we're going to keep it really neutral. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to maintain our width of arc through the butt of the club relative to the belt line. And I'm going to feel like the upper seam of the trail arm to the trail seam of the right side of my jumper stays very close together. So if those two seams stay close together and I just pivot, okay, then I'm going to maintain my width of arc through the handle. More importantly, I'm going to feel the sole of the club start gliding on the turf. So if I can start to feel the sole of the club gliding on the turf as I pivot up and through the target, then I'm going to start managing the low point. So before we go ahead and hit a couple of shots, you're going to sit up to the tee, and the goal is going to be is that you take the sole of your wedge, of your Vokey wedge, and you're going to try to knock the tee down into the ground with the sole of the club, not the leading edge. So go ahead and take your sit-up position, softness in the arms, neutral spine. You'll probably feel like for you, your left shoulder hangs a little more forwards, okay, so you're not so back in the stance. And then we're just going to pivot and extend the body and just sole out the bottom of the club. So if you heard that sound, and we can see it on the sole there, I just grazed the tee on the bottom of the sole. Then all we're going to do is take the ball, take sit-up position, and I want to just try to create that same feeling. So taking into our sit-up position, softness in the arms, trail arm connection, pivot and extend. So when I've gone through that shot, I've just grazed the tee out of the turf, okay? We can check the sole of the club again. I've just got that little white mark on the bottom. So I've managed to maintain the low point. If I was to pull on the grip too far this way, I'm going to start leaning the shaft, the lead edge starts digging in. Or contrary to that, if I was someone who early released a little bit too, and maybe potentially had my pressure on my left side going up a little early, I'm going to potentially get that thin as well. So simple drill, but actually pretty challenging in the sense whereby it's going to really challenge you to keep good body arm connection. And I use those two key words, pivot and extend. So we pivot the body, but we also feel like we extend up. And the extension up helps that club accelerate down and out, okay? Make sense to you?
You made that look very easy.
Good stuff, let's do it.